How's everybody doing? All right. Get everything going here. Get all the streams fired up. Go over here and get Facebook going. All right. Facebook is going. YouTube is going. All right. We're good to go, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? If you are in the eastern half of the country, how's everybody doing? Facebook, you're up. How's it going? If you are in at least the eastern part of our country tonight, you are sweltering. It's freaking hot. It's real hot. I got in my car today. You can see the post on my Facebook and Instagram. My car read 99 degrees. Granted, it probably wasn't 99, but I was parked on pavement. After I got moving going down the road, it cooled down to a nice sweltering 95. Yeah. All I can say is bring on October. I'm one of those few people that I can't stand summertime. If it would stay fall year round, I would be the happiest person you've ever met. But can't have everything, so you know. So what do? You crank the air conditioner up, and it's still. I've got a window air conditioner back here in my little studio, and this thing's been pumping all day long. And it still ain't as cold as I would like it to be in here. Hey, Madison, how's it going, man? Is it hot down your way in Knoxville? I'm sure it is. It's hot here. Yeah, I avoided stepping outside any chance I get right now. I've been doing some work on the studio. You can't really see it, but I did put in a new light fixture to kind of point some light back there at the guitars, so you might be able to see them a little better, because what's the point of having cool guitars if people can't see them? You know, I'm going to turn my mic up just a little. We're going to do acoustic tonight. I'm hoping it doesn't last 2 more months. Madison was saying 2 more months hotter than hell. I'm hoping it does not go 2 more months. Next week it's supposed to drop back into at least the mid 80s here. I can kind of deal with that. But we do have a show coming up Saturday night, 4th of July. So first off, happy 4th of July weekend coming up to all you guys. If you want to see fireworks, I hope you get to go see fireworks. If you want to sit in the air conditioning and watch them on TV, I don't blame you. Because we are going to be outside on a parking lot. It's going to be hot. It's going to be real hot. But, you know, what is it, AC/DC says, a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. They just didn't say it's really freaking hot if you want to rock and roll. That should have been a line in there. Not a whole lot that I've heard going on in the music world this week outside of Alan Jackson had his last concert. I think that was last week. We may have even talked about, I can't remember if it was this past weekend or the weekend before that. But anyway, Alan Jackson had his last concert. And wish I could have got to see it. Which I know you can go online and watch it, but it ain't the same as being there. Because I'd love to have heard his band. His guitar player is fantastic. I know Brent Mason played most of that stuff. And even if you don't know who Alan Jackson is, you know who Alan Jackson is. I mean, if I go... Everybody in the world's heard Chattahoochee. Don't Rock the Jukebox, Mercury Blues, so many good songs. Had the pleasure for many, many months of playing Alan Jackson's bar in Nashville every Tuesday night from 10:45 to 2:45, and every Friday night from 10:45 to 2:45. The other 3 nights that I played were all over at the Second Fiddle, which is also no longer there. I think Alan's bar is still there, but but I really don't. I hadn't been down to Nashville in a little while. Would love to get back. Would love to move back to Nashville. I really would, but just not in the cards right now. But if you have not been to Nashville, checked out the bars. If you want to hear traditional, real country music, well, I hate to call it real country music because I hate being like the gatekeeper. Because that drives me crazy with people. That's not metal. That's not country. Well, yeah, it is. It's just not your metal or not your country. Everybody says, Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan and Hardy and all that. That's not country. Well, I'm sure when Travis Tritt and Marty Stewart and all those guys were out, I know my grandmother was like, well, that ain't country. She was used, closest thing she got to new country was Ricky Skaggs. But she was, George Jones, Merle Haggard. And I think Travis Tritt and all that's really close to that. But she was convinced that country was going rock and roll, and she kind of was right, because anymore country is kind of what we used to call Southern rock. But it's just the evolution of music. I mean, it's just like with metal. I call Iron Maiden heavy metal. I call Judas Priest heavy metal. There's other people that, that's not heavy metal. Pantera's heavy metal. Slayer's heavy metal. It's what you like. There's no point in, nobody needs to own the name of heavy. If anybody could own the name of heavy metal, it would be Gene Simmons. He'd have already put a patent on it. I think he tried to patent the word rock and roll. No offense to Gene Simmons, he's smart. He's made a lot more money than I'll ever make, so I'm just glad he didn't get the patent on rock and roll. Anyway, what I was going to throw at you a little bit tonight, and for you Patreon guys, this will be a course coming up in the music theory section. Probably won't be next week, or this coming Sunday, I should say, because I am already working on this Sunday's music theory. If you haven't been over to check it out, go check it out. It's free for 7 days. Or shoot me a message, tell me you want to check it out, and I'll shoot you a gift link for the second tier, which is you get all the videos and you get a weekly live stream. We will be doing the weekly live stream this week. I'm gonna do it on Friday night because I'm off Friday night. I'm gonna be here. If you guys are home Friday night, I'll probably do a live stream on Patreon Friday night for a little while. Don't know how long it'll last, but we will do it. But kind of a music theory, a little bit of a primer tonight for what will be coming at some point on the Patreon page. And that is when you're looking at a chord chart, you'll see, C. If you just see the letter C, it means C major. If you see CM, that typically means C minor. You may see CMAJ 7, C major 7. You'll see a lot of those. But sometimes you'll see these chords that say C add 9 or C add 6 or 4, whatever it may be. The only things you'll pretty much never add to a chord is your 1, your 3, and your 5. Because they're already in your chord. You'll never see a C add 3 because you've already got a 3 in your C chord. It's that E. So you can't really add an E. All you're doing is just playing another chord that's already in there. One you'll see very, very frequently is an add 9. And if you watch the music theory thing, we went through basically the Nashville number system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as your scale. A 9 is technically a 2. If you think about a C scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, that C is either the 1 or it can be your 8. If we start here, you can think of this C. Let me sit up here where y'all can see this a little better. So if I start on C here, and I play my scale up to here, that can be an 8. So if there is an add 9, that means we're going to go up one more step, which will be our D note. So there's our regular C chord. We have C, E, G, C, and E again. When we do a C add 9, we're going to just add the 9th note of that scale, which would be a D. You've probably played this chord 100 times. It can be substituted for your major chord, sometimes for your minor chord, but it can be substituted for your major chord, or you can use it. I actually like these 9 chords when I'm finger picking, so I'm gonna. That would be your add 9. Now here's a big difference. If you see C add 9, that means you're playing a C chord and you're adding that 9. If you ever see one that just says C9, that's completely different. A C9, you have to add your 7 in there too, which would be a B chord, which makes things a little more difficult. So at that point, a C9, there's your C9, because we're adding that B. Totally different sounding chord. So if it says C9, you're going to play your 7. If it just says C add 9, much happier sounding. And it works that way with any chord. If we were to play our A minor, so if we're on A, our 9 is either our 2 or our 9. So that means we need a B somewhere in here. Because we need to have our root note, which is A, but we also need to have that C in there, our 3, or we don't really know what chord it is. So we need, and then we need a B. That's one of the tougher ones to get. If we're doing a G, add 9, we're just going to be adding an A. All I'm doing is putting down right there. I'm playing my G chord. If we're doing an E major and we want to add 9 to an E major, we can do a couple of different things. We can either just lift up our octave, or we can play that note and add our D, or I'm sorry, we add our F sharp down here. I did that other one wrong, sorry. On an E, we would add an F sharp. You could add it there. I like that one. Some of these are kind of, there's you look at it. Some of these are kind of tough chords to get to. That's why a lot of times you don't hold them a long time. You use them as a passing. So you could almost do an A9 that way, because you're just adding an A, or a G9, I'm sorry. G add 9. So we're doing the same thing with the C there. Instead of adding our D here, I can have a C chord that way, a C add 9 there as well, because I've still got my E note on the bottom. An add 9 chord has to have your 1, your 3, and your 5. And then you add the 9 to your 1, your 3, and your 5. A regular C9 has your 1, 3, 5, 7, and then you add a 9. And it makes it much more difficult to get to. So I'll show you an A minor 9. So if I'm playing, I've got my A minor. If I'm going to add my 7, the 7 is a G note. So I can do it there, but most likely it's going to be here. So if I want to do the 9, I have to hit my B as well. So I have to hit an A, an E, a B, a C, and a G. Kind of Andy Timmonsy sounding chords to me. I've been messing with, I can't do it on here without a tremolo, but Cry For You. Then the other chord's so hard. I ain't gonna do it on acoustic. Nah, I can't even hardly do it on an acoustic. But that's the basis of your add 9 chords, and you kind of use them to flavor everything. I'm just going to do the G. I'm going to strum a G and just throw that little add 9 in. Let me get my pick back. Same thing with C. If we want to go to our G, or our D, I'm sorry, we need to find our 9 would be, D is our root note, our 9 is the E. So we need to add an E to this chord. But when we do that, we're losing our F sharp. So we have to find a way to get an F sharp in, which is where a lot of times you will see you could almost call that a D add 9 or an F sharp over D. Or D over F sharp, sorry. But if I want to find it another way and I want my F sharp there, I can do it that way to get a true D9. So hopefully that helps you understand add 9s a little better, and it works the same with everything else. If I'm playing a C major and I want to add a 6, what is our 6th note? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an A. So if I want to add an A to this chord, but you got to dodge that D string because it's your E note. If you play it open, you have a D, and then you're in completely different territory. Because if it's a D, we're playing a C add 9, and if we add the A, you get into a whole lot of math, and it shouldn't be about math. That'll be a totally different chord. But add 9 just means take your 1, your 3, your 5, and add a 9 to it. Typically on your higher notes, but you can do it with the low notes. Like I said, when you're playing that D, you can add that F sharp up here. Sorry, that would be the E. I could take and play the E here. As long as I play a D chord and I add an E. If I come up here, I have a D chord. I can add the E right here on top of it. I want to do a crazy stretch. That'd be one way to do a C add 9. I could do the C chord here. Do my C chord, sorry. My C, put my 9 right there. If I'm C here, I need my 9 chord, or my 2 chord, which is a D, or as long as you add that 9 somewhere in there, on top, on bottom, that gives you an add 9. Now you'll get into add 9 flat 13. Skip those chords for now. Learn how to make them if you need them in a song, but don't worry about the math behind those chords right now. I don't think you need to worry about it too much. We're not trying to get into high level music theory at this point. We're kind of, like I said, if you're on the Patreon, you know, we just started the first course with the major scale. New video will be coming out Sunday morning. I'm going to try to just schedule them to release. I think I did the last one at 10:30, something like that. So I'll probably schedule this one for about the same time, give everybody a chance to get up, drink your coffee, play some guitar. Do have a little something I'm trying to work on. I do not have it yet. I have the intro a little bit, but I'll let you hear it. I'm trying to find been working with Andy on playing the chords and the melody at the same time, and I figured this is a great weekend for this, so I'm going to try to have it done by tomorrow. Oops. It's kind of tougher than you would think to play the melody, because it's a lot of this, at least for me, because I tend to want to hold my chords, so I have to do just that intro. That one's not too bad. It's just an A chord. And then get to where you can see where I'm picking here. I'm only really needing 2 fingers, so I'm just going to. Then an E chord. Then take the pinky and 2nd fret on your B string. So basically, I'm playing the melody down here. So I'm always playing that. But what I'm doing is trying to add finger picking the chords at the same time. Oops. Still a work in progress, and that's what my homework for tonight is. I have to sit here and try to figure that out because we got a really cool guitar in at Morel's. You probably saw it if you went on our website or anything. It's a limited edition sesquicentennial HD28. Awesome graphic on it. Big flying bald eagle, American flag, and I call it affectionately, with no sarcasm at all, I call it the America Martin. Because, I mean, you look at it and you just, you want to do the salute thing. So what I'm trying to do is get America the Beautiful. Kind of worked out tonight. Started messing with it last night, and I'm going to keep messing with it tonight. Try to get it worked out and play America the Beautiful on that guitar. I thought about the Star Spangled Banner, but I don't want to just do and have single notes, because I've never really sat and worked all the chords out in that. Maybe for next year. So America the Beautiful won out, and it's got a lot of chords. It's got quite a few chords to it. So I'm trying to find all those little inversions and thing to make it sound fuller or more full. I guess I should say, use proper English here. So that's what I've been working on. Don't know what you guys have had going on this week. If there's anything cool going on that I don't know about, that you think I should know about, throw it in the chat. So we have to play Saturday night, or I would be going to see Grand Funk Railroad. They are going to be playing in Bristol. Or not Bristol, I'm sorry, Kingsport. I say I would be going to see Grand Funk Railroad. At 90-some degrees, I don't know that I would stand out and watch Grand Funk. Unless Bruce Kulick is still playing guitar for him, and then I would probably stand out in the heat to watch Bruce Kulick play guitar. If you don't know who he is, he was Kiss's guitar player after, let me make sure I get this right, Mark St. John. You had Ace, and then you had Vinny, and I think you had Mark St. John for one album, and then I believe Bruce came in on Animalize, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that. If Jason Owens is watching, he'll correct me on it, I'm sure. But Bruce Kulick came. He's if you listen to Kiss in the 80s, the Hot in the Shade album, Revenge, some of my favorite Kiss stuff. The Revenge album and Alive 3, very close to being some of my favorite Kiss stuff. But I know Bruce had been battling some real bad health problems the last few months, year or so anyway. So hopefully he is back playing with them, and I hope they have a great show, and I hope a shitload of people go see it. I know it's going to be hot. I went last year and saw Night Ranger there. I think they did the third last year. So I went and saw Night Ranger, who were excellent. Brad Gillis, Kelly, I think is the guy's name. Kelly, something like that. The other guitar player for Night Ranger. Killer. I think he played with Slash for a little while. And I swear I thought I saw him play with Alice Cooper before, but I could be wrong on that. That's Fleetwood Mac thing. I started playing that, wasn't sure what it was for a minute. But anyway, hopefully the add 9 chords will give you guys a little bit of maybe inspiration with your playing. Try to find them all over the place. Like I say, but do a chord inversion, because typically we have 1, 3, 5. So if we start our chord on, let's start our C chord on our 5, which would be a G. So we need a G, we need an E, and we need a C. So let's find it somewhere a little bit. There we go. E, G, C. That's still a C chord, even though it doesn't look like one. You're playing an E, a G, and a C. So that is a C chord. So if we want a C add 9, we got to add a D in there. So where are we going to add that D in? Whoops, not right there. Where am I at? So we have our C chord there. Actually, it would have to... Some of them are tough to get to. Alright, I think I'm going to go try to find me some dinner. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me tonight. We will do this again every Wednesday night, barring gigs. Wait a minute, it's Thursday. Wow. Phew. Happy Thursday, everybody. We do this every Thursday night about 8:30, at least in the summertime. Wintertime, we'll probably drop it back to 7:30 again. But for the time being, we'll keep it at 8:30. So if you guys have anything you want to see me cover, pop it in the comments. Head over to patreon.com/rock, not Rocky, Rock Graybill. There's tiers as cheap as $3. There's a $5, and then you get into the lesson tiers. They get more expensive. One lesson a month's $25, 2 is $50, and 4 a month is $100. So if you're interested in guitar lessons, I do offer guitar lessons, and we do those through Zoom. I don't really do them in person. Just it's too hard to drive around and do that. It's much easier this way. And as expensive as gas has been, it's probably easier on YouTube. So if you're interested in lessons, hit me up. We will do them through Zoom, and you can go through the Patreon for that. But Madison, everybody else who hung out with me tonight, thank you so much, and I will see you guys again next Thursday. Patreon guys, I will see you Friday night. I don't know what we'll do. We may just sit and learn some songs together. We can actually do that on there. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you later.